Jack Macartney, just got your medal for the Tattersall Cup and everything else. You must be feeling pretty elated.
Yeah, I sure am. No, it's as I just said to you, it's still sinking in.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a long 12 months. You know, last year when we were here, we didn't celebrate at all. You know, we were stuck in a hotel room preparing for a protest, and it was an awful experience. You know, and this year is very different.
And you were quite instrumental, I guess, in the Sam said, in trying to get a change of mindset. How did you go about that?
Yeah, I mean, going back a year, I guess it goes back to January. Sam and I were literally going to leave the sport. We were so disheartened by what had happened, and so we contemplated what we wanted to do, and you know, from my side and from Sam's side, and he said, okay, well, how do we come back? You know, what have we got to do to back up the result and do well? And I said, we need to, you know, build the team, and we need to improve the boat and do a few things, and here's the plan. And he said, all right, let's do it.
So can you give us a little bit of an outline of some of the things you had to do? Firstly, just on the crew, what were you really looking for there? You've got a good base anyway. What were you really looking for to go next level?
I'm a big believer in you've got to have better people than you on the boat. So, you know, Rob is very much a key part of my plan.
Rob Greenhouse.
Yeah. So I targeted Rob very early on, and we're good mates. So I think getting Rob on was key, and then from there we got a few other people from, you know, like Luke Payne, like America's Cup sailors, Josh Jr. You know, Chapo came back. You know, we've got a very solid squad, and you know, you can't win a race without having a great team, and so that was crucial to what we needed to create to get back and do what we did.
And I don't think most people appreciate just how difficult it is to win this race. So to have been that close last year and come back, that is pretty extraordinary, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't sunk in.
So tell us just very briefly a little bit of the campaign. So you're obviously the right crew. You're obviously looking at minor tweaks and refinements to the boat, to the sails. Tell us a little bit about what things you were thinking about.
Well, the TP52 class is already very developed. So in terms of learning your boat, they're small things. They're the intricacies of each individual boat. So we bought a pile of new sails last year, and I said, well, let's use those new sails this year, learn the boat, learn how to sail it, add some new sails to that, and build on our knowledge on how to sail a boat, essentially. So that was it.
And then closer to, a month or two out, you're really about building up, looking at early weather patterns and so on. Is that right?
Yep. So we had a training block only 2 weeks out from the Hobart, and we actually broke a D1 on the rig. We almost lost the rig. So we ended up only training 1 day and did like 4 days of boat work instead. But we wanted to learn sail crossovers, different modes. You know, there was a lot of stuff that we wanted to get data on and we didn't get to. But as I said before, the boats have a lot of existing, you know, data and knowledge, so we're able to go into the race feeling comfortable that we had the right rating, we had the right sails, the right crew. You know, you just got to put it all together on the track. So.
And talk about putting it all together on the track. I think somebody suggested that you got the top speed, about 30 odd knots. That must be pretty full on at night. For those like me who are fascinated about how you're driving a boat in those very marginal conditions of being full on or being completely over the edge, tell us a little bit about that point. What have you got on? You've got a reefed main, and then an A3 or A4? What are you sailing?
So as it got windier and windier, basically the breeze built over the last day, and we had an A4 on, which is like a masthead spinnaker, a big spinnaker. And we went from a full main to 1 reef to 2 reefs in the A4, and then it got to like 30 knots, and then I went down a wave and blew it up. And then so that forced us to put the A6 on, which is a small spinnaker, and then we had that on to the end. And you know, it was a lot of wind. I think we saw probably like 35, close to 40 knots. And I always base all the data around the angle of heel. So you've got the boat under your feet, and you're always trying to keep, you know, the boat under the rig. And if you get too heeled, then it gets a bit loose. And if you're too flat, you know, you're not fast enough. So. And
at night time, you're not presumably able to see the waves to know exactly what you're going down. How do you get the feel of that?
Angle of heel. You just feel the boat under your feet.
Yeah.
That's.
And are you looking at any of the instrumentation, or is it more about just discussing with the trimmers and so on how you're going the main and the?
Oh no, absolutely. You're looking at the instruments. Yeah. So it's a cycle of going through, looking at all. Like you've got 7 instruments up there, and you're cycling through what they're telling you. and then rolling that into the heel and the speed of the boat, and out pops the result.
And for the main and the A sail trimmers, they're basically working to where you're needing to get them at any given time.
Yeah. Harry did a lot of trimming while I was driving last night, 2 nights ago, and he copped so many waves, and he's got red eyes here from wiping the salt away. So we had a lot of water over the deck. The TB52s are really wet boats. It's pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
and especially when the owner says you can drive it like you stole it.
He did. He told me that, and I said I'm gonna.
Well, congratulations.